Have you ever felt a pang of guilt reaching for the cheese board, believing it was nothing more than a forbidden indulgence, a delicious but ultimately detrimental choice in the lifelong quest for health? We have all been indoctrinated with the same pervasive narrative for decades, a story repeated by health magazines, television doctors, and well-meaning family members alike. Cheese is too fatty, too laden with sodium, a delectable shortcut to everything we are sternly instructed to avoid, from high cholesterol to unwanted weight gain. It has been positioned as the enemy of a trim waistline and a healthy heart. But what if that entire story, that deeply ingrained belief system, is not just partially inaccurate, but fundamentally and spectacularly wrong? What if the true key to reclaiming your physical strength, your sense of stability, and your cherished independence after the pivotal age of 65 was not hidden within some exorbitantly priced, laboratory-engineered supplement or a punishingly grueling new fitness regimen? What if, instead, it has been residing quietly in plain sight all along, patiently waiting in the cool, familiar confines of your refrigerator, cleverly disguised as a simple, unassuming block of cheese? Prepare to have your long-held nutritional beliefs not merely challenged, but completely and irreversibly turned upside down. There exists a significant and rapidly growing body of rigorous scientific evidence, information that has been quietly circulating and gaining traction among forward-thinking doctors, clinical nutritionists, and geriatric specialists, that reveals a profoundly powerful and liberating truth. Certain specific types of cheese are, in fact, among the most effective, entirely natural, and genuinely enjoyable tools available for combating the pervasive and debilitating effects of age-related muscle loss, a condition technically known as sarcopenia. This is not some speculative, hopeful theory or a fleeting dietary fad. It is a practical, evidence-based nutritional strategy that possesses the remarkable potential to completely redefine how you experience and navigate your later years. If you have found yourself feeling like you are losing a step, if once simple tasks like carrying groceries, rising from a comfortable chair, or climbing a flight of stairs are becoming noticeably more difficult, or if you simply feel that your body does not possess the same reservoir of strength and resilience it once did, then you absolutely cannot afford to dismiss the information that is about to be presented. The knowledge that follows could very well be the single most important and life-altering health message you hear all year, offering a simple, accessible, and profoundly enjoyable path back to the foundational strength you may have sorrowfully concluded was gone for good. The humble powerhouse cottage cheese. Let's begin our journey of rediscovery with a cheese that many of us have summarily written off. A humble and often overlooked staple that might, for some, evoke bland memories of outdated, restrictive diet fads from the 1970s and 80s. I am, of course, talking about cottage cheese. It is high time to consciously and completely jettison those uninspired recollections of watery, flavorless curds served on a limp lettuce leaf, and to finally see this food for what it truly is. One of the single most potent and efficient muscle-building allies available to any individual over the age of 65. The sheer power of cottage cheese is rooted in its almost unbelievably efficient nutritional profile, a marvel of natural food engineering. A mere half-cup serving of a standard low-fat cottage cheese, a portion that is easily consumed in a few spoonfuls, delivers a stunning 14 grams of exceptionally high-quality, complete protein for only approximately 81 calories. This translates into an incredible statistical reality. An astounding 70% of its total caloric content comes directly from pure muscle-fueling protein. To provide some necessary context and truly appreciate this remarkable ratio, consider a standard slice of cheddar cheese, which, while delicious, derives only about 24% of its calories from protein. The difference is not just a matter of degree, it's a fundamental disparity in nutritional purpose. Cottage cheese isn't just operating in a different league when it comes to protein density. It is, for all intents and purposes, playing an entirely different and far more strategic game. However, the unique magic of cottage cheese extends far beyond the sheer quantity of its protein. It is exceptionally and uniquely rich in a specific essential amino acid called leucine, a molecule that is increasingly being referred to by geriatric and sports scientists as the definitive ignition switch for muscle protein synthesis, which is the biological process of building new muscle tissue. As our bodies age, our muscles progressively develop a condition known as anabolic resistance, meaning they become less sensitive and responsive to the normal signals that instruct them to repair, rebuild, and grow. They require a stronger, clearer, and more powerful signal to initiate this crucial process, and leucine is precisely that potent message. Extensive research has demonstrated that older adults need to consume approximately 3 grams of leucine per meal to effectively overcome this resistance and trigger a robust muscle-building response. A single modest serving of cottage cheese provides well over a gram of this critical amino acid, effortlessly getting you more than a third of the way to that vital target. Furthermore, for the significant number of older adults who find the process of chewing tough meats like steak or chicken breast to be difficult, or for those who experience a naturally diminished appetite, the soft, creamy, and non-taxing texture of cottage cheese is an absolute blessing. It is exceptionally gentle on the digestive system and requires virtually no physical effort to eat, making it a perfect nutritional vehicle when energy and appetite are low. The dominant protein found in cottage cheese is casein, a remarkable substance often categorized as a slow-release protein. You can accurately think of it as a biological time-release capsule for your muscles, providing a steady, continuous, and prolonged stream of vital amino acids over a period of 6 to 8 hours. This unique characteristic makes it an invaluable tool for preventing muscle breakdown, a process known as catabolism, especially during the long overnight fasting period. Consuming a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed can act as a powerful protective shield, ensuring your body has the necessary resources to maintain itself and doesn't resort to cannibalizing your hard-earned muscle tissue for fuel while you sleep. This is the concentrated champion Parmesan cheese. Now, let us turn our focused attention to a true and undisputed champion of the cheese world, a flavor-packed crystalline giant that you may have exclusively considered as a finishing garnish for a bowl of pasta or a sprinkle over a Caesar salad. Authentic Parmesan cheese, known in its Italian homeland as Parmigiano Reggiano, is vastly more than a simple topping. It stands as one of the most nutrient-dense and functionally powerful muscle-building foods available on the entire planet. Its profound brilliance lies in its extraordinary level of concentration, a direct result of its unique production and aging process. Just a single 1-ounce serving of genuine Parmesan, a piece roughly the size of your thumb, contains an impressive 10 grams of complete, highly bioavailable protein. For older adults who may find themselves eating smaller portions due to a reduced appetite or a desire for portion control, this incredible density is an absolute game changer. It allows you to introduce a significant and meaningful protein boost into your diet without the daunting prospect of having to consume a large volume of food, making it an ideal solution for enriching meals and snacks with high-quality nutrition. The true and most compelling secret of Parmesan, however, is beautifully revealed in its long, patient, and transformative aging process. Over a legally mandated minimum of 12 months, and often for 24, 36, or even 48 months, naturally occurring enzymes within the cheese work tirelessly to break down the complex long-chain casein proteins into much smaller, simpler components, including free amino acids and peptides. This natural enzymatic process essentially pre-digests the cheese for you, rendering its abundant protein incredibly easy for your body to absorb and immediately utilize for muscle repair and synthesis. This is a critically important benefit, as our digestive systems often become less efficient and more sensitive as we age, which can lead to uncomfortable side effects like gas, bloating, or indigestion after consuming other protein-rich foods. Parmesan elegantly bypasses this common issue, delivering its potent nutrients gently and with maximum efficiency. In fact, this same extensive aging process is also responsible for breaking down virtually all of the milk sugar or lactose within the cheese, This means that even individuals who suffer from moderate to severe lactose intolerance can typically enjoy the rich, savory flavor and nutritional benefits of authentic Parmesan without any digestive distress. Beyond its powerhouse protein content, Parmesan is a veritable treasure chest of other essential nutrients, most notably calcium. A single ounce provides approximately 250-300 milligrams of calcium, which constitutes about a quarter of the recommended daily intake for older adults. While we most commonly and correctly associate calcium with the health and density of our bones, its role in muscle function is equally, if not more, critical for daily vitality. Every single twitch, contraction, and coordinated movement your muscles make, from the blink of an eye to the act of standing up, is fundamentally dependent on a precise and complex dance of calcium ions within the muscle cells. Without an adequate supply of this vital mineral, your muscles simply cannot receive the electrical signals to perform at their peak, no matter how much protein you consume. In essence, eating Parmesan provides both the essential building blocks, protein, and the vital spark plugs, calcium, that your muscles need to work in perfect, powerful harmony. The tulpas, the secret weapon ricotta cheese. Our third and final muscle-building marvel in this cheesy trifecta is ricotta, a fresh cheese with a uniquely creamy texture and a nutritional secret that sets it dramatically apart from almost all others. The key distinction of ricotta is that it is primarily made from whey, the watery, protein-rich liquid that is separated out from the curds during the production of hard cheeses like Parmesan and mozzarella. While it may sound like a simple byproduct, this whey-dominant composition gives ricotta an extraordinary superpower that is of particular interest to the aging population: the power of speed. While the majority of cheeses, including our friends cottage cheese and Parmesan, are dominated by the slow-digesting casein protein, ricotta is exceptionally rich in fast-acting whey protein. Your body is capable of breaking down, absorbing, and delivering the amino acids from whey protein directly to your muscle tissues within an astonishingly short window of 30 to 60 minutes after consumption. This remarkable speed is not just a trivial detail, it is an incredibly important strategic advantage for older adults seeking to maximize their body's response to physical activity. Imagine you have just returned from a brisk walk around the neighborhood, spent an hour doing some light but productive gardening, or just finished a short session of simple strengthening exercises prescribed by a physical therapist. During and immediately after this activity, your muscles are in a primed and highly receptive state, hungry for the raw materials they need to repair the micro-damage caused by the exertion and to rebuild themselves stronger. This critical post-activity period is precisely ricotta's moment to shine. Consuming a serving of ricotta during this anabolic window is akin to dispatching a rapid response team of elite amino acid paramedics directly to your muscles at the very moment they need them most, kickstarting the recovery and growth process with unparalleled efficiency. A standard half cup of whole milk ricotta provides a robust 14 grams of protein, but its real advantage lies in its specific profile of branched-chain amino acids, or BCAAs, which include the all-important leucine, as well as isoleucine and valine. These special amino acids possess the unique ability to bypass initial processing in the liver and travel straight to your muscle tissue, where they can be immediately utilized to halt muscle breakdown and initiate the vital work of repair and growth. Its characteristically smooth, light, and creamy texture is yet another major benefit, making it effortless to eat for those who may have dental issues, difficulty swallowing, or a sensitive palate. Furthermore, it is naturally much lower in sodium than most other cheeses, making it an excellent and heart-healthy choice for the many older adults who are diligently managing their blood pressure. The scientific research unequivocally confirms its power. Multiple controlled studies have demonstrated that daily consumption of whey-rich ricotta cheese by older adults not only leads to significant increases in lean muscle mass, but also results in tangible improvements in functional abilities such as balance, gait speed, and overall physical performance. With ricotta, you are not just building muscle in isolation. you are actively building a more stable, more functional, and more resilient body. The secret is in the schedule. Now that you have been armed with the crucial knowledge of which specific cheeses to choose to fuel your strength, we must turn our attention to an equally, if not more, important factor in this nutritional equation: the element of timing. When you eat, your protein can make a monumental and often underestimated difference in its overall effectiveness for muscle building and preservation. Recent breakthroughs in the science of chrononutrition have revealed profound insights that directly challenge many of our long-held and culturally ingrained beliefs about daily meal patterns. For many decades, the typical Western dietary structure has been built around a modest breakfast, a light lunch, and a large protein-heavy dinner, viewed as the main meal of the day. However, for the specific and critical goal of building and preserving precious muscle mass after the age of 65, breakfast is unequivocally the most crucial and non-negotiable meal of the entire day. After sleeping for a period of 8, 9, or even 10 hours, your body is in a prolonged fasted state. During this time, to maintain essential bodily functions like breathing and brain activity, your body enters a catabolic state where it begins to actively break down muscle tissue to release amino acids for energy. Your very first meal of the day represents your single greatest opportunity to slam the brakes on this destructive process and decisively flip the metabolic switch from muscle breakdown to muscle building. The scientific research on this topic is overwhelmingly clear and consistent. Older adults who consume a substantial serving of 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast are shown to stimulate muscle protein synthesis far more effectively, not just in the morning, but throughout the entire course of the day. This is precisely where our 3 champion cheeses become such powerful and practical tools. A simple, delicious breakfast consisting of a bowl of cottage cheese mixed with some fresh berries and topped with a generous sprinkle of freshly grated Parmesan cheese can easily deliver over 20 grams of the highest quality protein, effectively turning on your body's muscle building engine and setting a positive anabolic tone for the day ahead. Beyond the paramount importance of a protein-rich breakfast, the overarching goal should be to consciously move away from the common light, heavy eating pattern, where protein is often neglected or underconsumed until the evening meal. Your body has a physiological limit to how much protein it can effectively utilize for muscle repair and synthesis at any single point in time. For most adults, this limit hovers around 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal. Consuming a massive 60-gram steak at dinner, while seemingly robust, is metabolically inefficient. It is like trying to water a delicate houseplant by dumping an entire bucket of water on it once a day. The vast majority of it simply runs off the sides and is wasted. Any protein consumed far in excess of that 35-gram threshold in a single sitting is not stored for later muscle-building use. Instead, it is typically converted by the liver into glucose for immediate energy or, if not needed, stored as body fat. A far more intelligent and effective strategy is to distribute your total protein intake as evenly as possible throughout the day, consistently aiming for that sweet spot of 25 to 30 grams at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This approach provides your muscles with the consistent, steady supply of amino acid building blocks they require to remain strong, repair efficiently, and resist the catabolic forces of aging. That's because finding your perfect portion. One of the most common and practical questions that naturally arises when embarking on a new dietary strategy is exactly how much of these specific foods is needed to achieve a real, tangible difference. It is important to clarify that the goal here is not to subsist on a diet of cheese alone, but rather to use it intelligently and strategically as a powerful component within a broader, balanced, and nutrient-dense diet. To begin, it is incredibly helpful to understand your personal overall daily protein target. The current evidence-based recommendation from leading geriatric and nutrition organizations for healthy adults over the age of 65 is to consume between 1.0 and 1.2 grams of protein for every kilogram or 2.2 pounds of body weight. This is significantly higher than the recommendation for younger adults, a reflection of the need to overcome the age-related anabolic resistance we discussed earlier. To easily calculate your personal daily protein target, you can simply take your weight in pounds, divide it by 2.2 to convert it to kilograms, and then multiply that resulting number by 1.2. For example, a 150-pound person would divide 150 by 2.2 to get approximately 68 kilograms. Multiplying 68 by 1.2 yields a daily protein target of about 82 grams. Once you have this number, you have a clear and personalized goal to work towards each day. You can achieve a very significant portion of this daily goal with our 3 powerhouse cheeses alone. Based on the protocols used in the clinical studies that have demonstrated the most impressive and consistent results in improving muscle mass and function in older adults, a highly practical and effective approach is to aim for the inclusion of 2 to 3 servings of these specific muscle-building cheeses into your diet each day. This might look something like this: a half cup of low-fat cottage cheese mixed into your scrambled eggs or served with fruit for breakfast. 1 ounce of authentic Parmesan cheese grated generously over your lunchtime soup or salad, and 1/3 of a cup of whole milk ricotta cheese mixed into your pasta sauce or enjoyed as a simple dessert with a drizzle of honey for dinner. This simple and delicious combination alone would provide approximately 35 to 40 grams of the highest quality, easily digestible protein, getting you roughly halfway to your daily goal with very little effort. It is absolutely crucial to understand that consistency is the undisputed key to success with this strategy. You cannot realistically expect to see significant or lasting gains in muscle strength and function by eating these cheeses only sporadically, once or twice a week. The profound benefits of this approach are cumulative, building on one another day after day. It is most helpful to think of it as making a small daily investment in your physical future, a delicious and enjoyable habit that, when practiced consistently over a period of 60 to 90 days, can lead to truly remarkable and measurable improvements in your strength, stability, and overall independence. Kurkus, the power of partnership, cheese and simple movement. While these 3 remarkable cheeses are powerful enough on their own to help staunch the tide of age-related muscle loss and even initiate new growth, their beneficial effects are magnified exponentially when they are combined with the right kind of physical activity. This combination creates what scientists refer to as a synergistic effect, a powerful physiological phenomenon where the resulting benefit is far greater than the simple sum of its individual parts. In this case, 1 + 1 = 3. The most effective and well-researched type of exercise for this specific purpose is resistance training. Now, before your mind conjures up intimidating images of a loud, crowded gymnasium full of complex equipment and heavily muscled bodybuilders, let me emphatically assure you that resistance training for older adults can be and should be incredibly simple, safe, and highly accessible. It does not require a gym membership or any specialized equipment. It can be as straightforward and functional as the simple act of getting up and down from a sturdy armless chair 10 to 15 times in a row, performing controlled push-ups against a wall or kitchen counter, or using light, inexpensive elastic bands to provide resistance for your arms and legs. When you perform these simple, targeted movements and then follow up by consuming a protein-rich serving of cottage cheese, Parmesan, or ricotta within the crucial 1 to 2 hour window afterward, your muscles become incredibly responsive and primed for growth. The exercise itself acts as a potent signal, creating microscopic tears in the muscle fibers that effectively wake up the muscle cells and prepare them to receive the influx of nutrients. The protein from the cheese then provides the essential raw materials, the amino acids, that your body uses to not only repair that minor damage, but to rebuild the muscle fibers thicker and stronger than they were before. This powerful 1-2 punch of stimulus followed by nutrition has been clinically shown to restore a more youthful and robust muscle building response, even in individuals who are well into their 80s and 90s. You do not need to engage in strenuous, exhausting exercise every single day to reap these benefits. Performing a short routine of simple resistance exercises just 2 or 3 times per week is more than sufficient to trigger this profound synergistic effect, as long as you continue to diligently fuel your body with adequate protein on all days of the week, including your rest days. It is also important to recognize that even daily chores and routine activities like carrying grocery bags from the car, actively climbing stairs instead of taking the elevator, or engaging in vigorous gardening can provide the kind of valuable stimulus that pairs perfectly with a subsequent protein-rich snack, effectively turning your everyday activities into golden opportunities for building and maintaining your strength. A quick safety check. As with any significant modification to your diet or lifestyle, it is of paramount importance to approach this new strategy wisely and with a clear understanding of your individual health circumstances, especially if you have specific pre-existing health considerations. The very good news is that these 3 particular cheeses are generally very well tolerated by most people and often present fewer issues than other foods. For the many individuals who struggle with lactose intolerance, long-aged, authentic Parmesan cheese is a wonderfully safe harbor, as its extensive aging process breaks down virtually all of the lactose, rendering it essentially lactose-free. Cottage cheese and ricotta, while not completely free of lactose, contain far less of it than a glass of milk and are often manageable in the small portion sizes we have discussed, particularly if you choose products that contain live and active cultures, which can aid in digestion. If you are actively managing high blood pressure, it is important to pay close attention to sodium levels. Ricotta cheese is naturally very low in sodium and is an excellent choice. When purchasing cottage cheese, you should consciously seek out versions that are clearly labeled as low sodium or no salt added to keep your intake in check. Regarding long-standing concerns about dietary fat and cholesterol, it is reassuring to know that large-scale modern scientific studies and meta-analyses have largely debunked the old myth that cheese consumption is a primary driver of heart disease. For most people, consuming cheese in the moderate strategic portions we have discussed has not been shown to significantly increase the risk of cardiovascular events. The scientific consensus is shifting to recognize that the overall dietary pattern, rather than the vilification of a single food, is what truly matters. The key, as always, is balance, moderation, and portion control. Finally, and this is critically important, if you have any pre-existing kidney conditions or if you are taking blood-thinning medications such as warfarin, Coumadin, it is absolutely essential that you speak with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant changes to your daily protein intake. Impaired kidneys can struggle to process the byproducts of protein metabolism, and some cheeses contain vitamin K, which can interfere with certain medications. A brief conversation with your healthcare provider can ensure that you can adopt this powerful strategy safely and effectively. HENG course, your 90-day path to renewed strength. Let us now consolidate all of this powerful knowledge into a clear, concise, and actionable plan that you can begin implementing today, moving from theory to transformative practice. The very first step is a simple but deliberate trip to the grocery store. Make it your mission to purchase a supply of high-quality cottage cheese, preferably low sodium, a wedge of authentic Parmigiano Reggiano, look for the name stamped on the rind, and a container of fresh whole milk ricotta cheese. Simply having these powerful allies on hand in your refrigerator is the first tangible commitment you can make to yourself and your future strength. Next, take a quiet moment to perform the simple calculation for your personal daily protein goal, as outlined earlier, and write that number down. Post it on your refrigerator or a kitchen cabinet where you will see it every day. This will serve as a constant, gentle reminder of your objective. Then begin to proactively plan out your meals for the following day with a new and specific focus, ensuring that each of your 3 main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, contains approximately 25 to 30 grams of protein, and intentionally incorporating at least 1 serving of our 3 powerhouse cheeses into that plan. Most importantly, you must begin to move your body. You do not need to start with a marathon, Begin with just 5 or 10 minutes of simple, focused resistance exercises, performing them just 2 or 3 times this week. Stand up from a chair and sit back down under control 10 times in a row. Find a clear wall and perform 10 slow and steady push-ups against it. Stand near a counter for balance and do 10 calf raises. The initial goal is not to exhaust yourself, but simply to awaken your muscles and send that crucial signal for growth. Finally, take out your calendar, either physical or digital, and mark a date exactly 90 days from today. This is your personal checkpoint. This is the day you will consciously pause to take stock and assess the changes you feel in your own body. You may be genuinely and profoundly astonished to find that climbing the stairs to your bedroom feels noticeably easier, that carrying a full basket of laundry is less of a strain, and that you simply feel stronger, more stable on your feet, and more confident in your body's capabilities. The debilitating loss of muscle is not an inevitable, non-negotiable sentence of aging. It is a physiological condition that can be actively fought, effectively halted, and in many cases even reversed. With these 3 delicious, versatile, and scientifically backed cheeses as your dedicated allies, you possess the simple yet powerful tools to rewrite your own story of aging, one strong, steady, and wonderfully independent day at a time. Your future self will be eternally grateful.